In our last video, we discussed Indira Gandhi's and Sanjay Gandhi's rule or misrule during the period of emergency. In this video, we will discuss what was the response of public to emergency. Let us first discuss the support to emergency. In its initial months at least, the emergency restored to India a kind of calm it had not known for years. One reason why the emergency was widely welcomed by the middle class is that this calm was in sharp contrast to the strife-filled decade that preceded it. The crime rate had come down and the trains ran on time. The journalist found that the business community were especially pleased with emergency. A Delhi hotel owner told him that life was now just wonderful. We used to have terrible problems with the unions. Now when they give us any troubles, the government just put them in jail. In Bombay, the journalist met J.R.D. Tata, arguably India's most respected industrialist. Tata too felt that things had gone too far. You can't imagine what we have been through. Strikes, boycotts, demonstrations. But there were days I couldn't walk out of my office into the street. The parliamentary system is not suited to our needs. One fact is conclusive proof of the quiescence of the middle class, that hardly any officials resigned in the protest against the emergency. Back in the days of British rule, Gandhi's call to non-cooperation with the rulers led to thousands of resignations of teachers, lawyers, judges, even ICS officers. Now, the abrogation of democracy was protested by only a handful of people in state employment. These included Falli Nariman, who resigned as Additional Solicitor General, Emil Dantawala, who declined to continue as advisor to the Reserve Bank, and Bagaram Tultule, who left his high position in public sector undertaking. This was mostly due to major dramatic improvement in the economy, though only some of it was really due to steps taken under the emergency. Some of it being the result of excellent rains, and some of the policies initiated much before the emergency. Most welcome was the dramatic improvement in the price situation. Prices of essential goods, including foodstuffs, came down and their availability in shops improved. There was also an immediate and general improvement in administration, with government servants coming to office on time and being more considerate to the public. Quick, dramatic and well-publicized action was taken against smugglers, hoarders, black marketers, illegal traders in foreign currency, and tax evaders, with several thousands of them put behind bars under MISA. Popular hopes were raised, and the emergency made more palatable by the announcement on 1st July of the Omnibus 20-point program by Mrs. Gandhi, its age being the socio-economic uplift of the vast mass of the rural poor. A major factor in the people's acceptance of the emergency was its constitutional, legal and temporary character. It was proclaimed under Article 352 of the Constitution. It was approved by Parliament and legitimized by the courts. To the people, it represented an interim measure, a temporary suspension of normal rules and institutions of democracy. They did not see it as a substitute for democracy or as an attempt to impose a dictatorship. Throughout the emergency, Mrs. Gandhi asserted that she was fully committed to multi-party democracy and a free press, that the emergency was an abnormal remedy for an abnormal situation, and that democratic conditions would be restored and elections held as soon as the situation returned to the normal. The Indian people tended to take Mrs. Gandhi at her word. A social reformer and Gandhian Vinoba Bhave endorsed the emergency, calling it Anushasan Parva, meaning a time of discipline. Let us now discuss the resistance to the emergency. There was some resistance offered in the Indian Parliament. On 23rd July, the House met to ratify the emergency. The The Congress commanded a comfortable majority and 34 MPs were in the jail. Those opposition MPs at liberty to attend made speeches of protest before walking out. The CPM member A.K. Gopalan said that the arrests had reduced Parliament to a farce and an object of contempt. A Janasangha MP accused Mrs. Gandhi of betraying the motherland for the sake of personal ends. The opposition MPs later boycotted the House or were jailed. There was also resistance in the streets. On 14th November 1975, the birthday of Jawaharlal Nehru, a body styling itself the Lok Sangharsha Samiti began a satyagraha in Bombay. Every day, a group of protesters would stand at a busy intersection and shout slogans such as "Down with Dictatorship" and "JP Zindabad." Within a month, 1,359 people had been arrested, including 146 women. On 15th August 1976, another satyagraha commenced in Ahmedabad. It was led by Maniben Patel, daughter of India's first Home Minister Vallabhbhai Patel, raising slogans such as "Remove Emergency" and "Release Political Prisoners." The 50 marchers proceeded on the road to Dandi, the same route that Gandhi had taken to break the colonial salt laws 46 years previously. Maniben Patel was arrested a mile down the road, but the next day a judge ordered her release. She continued the march to the sea, accompanied by a handful of policemen in plain clothes. One of those arrested in the Bombay Satyagraha was the distinguished Marathi writer Durga Bhagwat. Other members of her fraternity protested in ways more congenial to their profession. Bengali essayist Anand Shankar Ray announced that he would stop writing altogether in a fit of non-cooperative pique. The cartoonist K. Shankar Pillai closed down his magazine. The Hindi novelist Renu returned the Padma Shri bestowed upon him by the Government of India. The act recalling Tagore's disavowal of his knightship after the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. The Kannada polymath Shivarama Karnad gave back an even higher honor, the Padma Bhushan. These acts can be related to the recent award-returning news. Finally, there was resistance that was carried on underground. The key figure was George Fernandes, the firebrand socialist who had led the railway strike of 1974. When the emergency was declared, Fernandes was in the Orissa town of Gopalpur. He lay low for a few weeks, in which time he had grown a beard and come to disguise himself as a Sikh. Then he travelled from town to town, meeting comrades and planning sabotage of state installations. Dynamite was collected and stored, and young men trained in the act of blowing up bridges and railway tracks. From his ever-shifting hiding place, Fernandes sent out letters attacking the dictator, that women, and the Nehru dynasty, and urging the people to rise against the regime. Fernandes himself was finally arrested in Calcutta on 10th June 1976, nearly a year into the emergency. There were articles in foreign press like Time, Sydney, Morning Herald, Observer, and others criticizing emergency. They talked of They talked about number of issues related, like India being the hope of democracy in Asia and the developing world, how socialism forced India into emergency, whether democracy is suited for India. The emergency started becoming unpopular among common people because of Sanjay Gandhi's 5-point program, which included compulsory sterilization. It was clearly dictatorial even for a common man, and the visible discontent rose among common people. Popular discontent from mid-1976 reached its zenith 6 months later. The reasons for this are valid. In our next video, we will discuss the ending of emergency. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and comment because discussion is solution. For more discussions, please subscribe our channel.